Good afternoon, Worcester State. I'm NJ, and this is Pius from BSU. Pius, how are you doing this afternoon?
Well, I must say it's great to be here. I'm doing quite fine. It's a beautiful day, even with the rain. Just happy to be here and support you in your interview.
Oh, thank you very much.
Of course.
Can you tell the people a little bit about yourself and why you joined the BSU?
Well, my name is Pius Baidoo, obviously. I am a Ghanaian immigrant from Ghana, the state of Ghana. I came here in 2012, and I came to Worcester State because I wanted to pursue a career in psychiatry, right? And so I found out about the BSU while I was just on campus. One day I was playing ping pong in the game room. I love to play ping pong. And as I was in the game room, the president of the BSU actually came up to me. He's like, "Yo, have you heard about the Black Student Union on campus?" I was like, "No, I haven't." And he's like, "Oh, you should come to one of the events." I was like, "Okay." And I came to one of the events. I quite enjoyed it. And they enjoyed my presence too, so they just recommended me to be on e-board, and that's the story. So I started as a community member at large, and now I'm at the vice president position, so, yeah.
I know people might be wondering, what is BSU?
Was that all right? Oh, sorry about that.
You're good.
So the Black Student Union is basically it's a club on campus targeted towards people of color to give a community to those who might not find a community at such a largely white populated campus. And we just want to create like an environment for those to come together and to find others like them, to play games, hold events, talk about culture, talk about anything that might be, important in the Black community, in the Black diaspora at the moment, and just to give a home, almost like a family, to those on campus who might not find or feel like they have a family of people like themselves on campus.
Of course. You said BSU is Black Student Union, right?
Yes.
Can people of different race join BSU?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's one of the biggest misconceptions, that if you're not a Black student, you cannot join BSU. That's not how it is. BSU is aimed at Black students, but it is not exclusive to Black students. Anyone can join it, anyone can become part of the club, can become part of the culture, but our aim is to find those who are, our target audience is people of color, specifically. Yeah.
Specifically, okay.
Yes.
You said something about events you guys host.
Yes.
What are some events you guys host for Worcester State?
So we host a wide variety of events depending on the year. Last year, for example, we did a paint night, a steady paint night. We also did a little ball, a gala. And I'll actually talk about the gala. The gala was our biggest event of last year. We had approximately 200 people come. It was this, well, you know what a gala is, obviously.
Yeah, obviously,
right? Yeah.
I do.
But we had a gala, and we had people come together, and we had people in our club be models, right? So at the gala, we had modeling, we had food, we had dancing, we had et cetera, right? And the models were selectively picked from the actual club members, whoever volunteered, and we had them put into 4 different categories of attire to wear. Either Black excellence, denim on denim, African wear, or street wear, right? And they can choose either 1 or 2 different categories to be a part of, where they can create an outfit and they would walk in the gala and show off their outfit. During the gala, we also had dancing people. We had, I forgot the names of the groups we had come dance, but we had different, Black-centric dances at our gala. We also had a live band.
Oh.
We had food from Jamaican spot, African spot, just a wide variety. Just come, have fun.
So the gala is kind of like a runway, perhaps?
It's not necessarily a runway, I suppose. It's more like a dinner.
A dinner?
And the dinner constituted, the dinner had us also involve a runway modeling sort of event, but the main focus was on the dinner, the food, and the community.
So how do you guys make money towards your events and clubs, everything?
The main way we make money is how clubs work on campus is that every year or so you get a budget for the year, right? And so the more, let's say, events or people and et cetera that we have, the more money we can get allocated. Now, if we don't have enough money for an event, we can do some fundraising. do some, I think a fundraising we did last year was we were giving out flowers, right? People could get flowers in a card and give it to somebody else, and etc. And so the fundraising is one way. We can also get donations from outside sources, maybe a restaurant, maybe a bank, etc. People that feel like, oh, they like what we're doing, they'll give us donations to do so. And so those are the main factors in ways we get money. But generally speaking, our source of money is from like the school sanctioned budget we have for the year.
Of course. You said something that someone came up to you during your freshman year and then introduced BSU to you, and then you started from like a person in the club and then work your way up to a VP, right?
Yeah.
How did you like tell somebody who's trying to get involved into the club, like where do they start, how do they like go about it, and what's the story?
Well, I'll say the easiest way to start is just to attend our events. And actually, I was wrong. The easiest way to start is to attend our general meetings. Our general meetings are every Monday. Not to like, plug us or anything, but the general meetings are, exactly. It's on Mondays from 5 p.m. to whenever we want to end. And that's the easiest way to get involved into the actual BSU, see what we do at the BSU. Now, if you want to get a position in the BSU, we run for our positions, right? So you have to get voted into our positions. We do this properly. And so, generally speaking, depending on what position there is, you have more competitive, I guess, just competition to actually gain the position. And so it's usually best to start at a lower position, like community member at large, who just generally help and support the rest of the e-board to see if you like it. Because the higher up the positions go, the more work, the more stress, the more etc. But if I was to start all over again, I'll say start by just attending meetings and being consistent. That way you can build rapport with the e-board members who usually vote you on, or also the general audience votes you on, but like you just build rapport. People get to know you and see, okay, you're a good candidate. I can see why we should pick you over this person or that person. And then get into the e-board, work your way up, see what you like, what you don't like, and build that type of thing,
So it seemed like you have like a lot on your plate. How do you juggle with the BSU and then your student work and everything?
Well, the main way I've found is that if there's something to do, just get it done as soon as you can. That's the easiest way to do it. Another method is to actually make sure that as a VP, my main job is delegation. Well, okay, the president delegates and I help the president, right? So sometimes whatever the president needs done, I'll go to do it. But since the president, they're usually in the meetings and contacting this person, that person, my main job is to try to talk to the rest of the e-board members and keep them I guess sane almost, because it can be a lot. And to talk to them, to balance things out with them. And that can get very hectic. So the main idea is that after a certain time, after a certain period, I'm like, okay, I won't think about BSU, I'm doing homework and I'm not available. After that period, I come back into the world, that type of thing. But it's very, very orderly. You have to have certain points of period where you're like, I can't do this. Can somebody else do this? You have to be able to communicate when too much is on your plate, because if I have to study for 3 exams, but then I have to start planning this event, I can't do that. So I can talk to somebody else on the e-board and be like, hey, this is what's going on. Could you please help me out?
Of course.
And so it's a mix of knowing your schedule and also knowing that what you can't do is okay if you can't do it. And you can ask for help. And that's what it is.
So you guys in your community are very close?
Yes, we are very close, or we try to be at least, It takes a lot to actually get that close, but it's a lot of, doing events together outside of the general events and, the big things. Like, yes, we have, working together, you build rapport with people, you build relationships, but it's not the same as actually going out, hanging out with each other, spending time in each other's companies, listening to each other's struggles. That's what really builds a relationship and it allows for us to be able to communicate with each other and to work well with each other in the way that we try to do. And so, yeah.
So I've been to one of your event you threw, I think it was like last month, I'm not sure. But like,
months ago, so.
yeah, a few months ago.
Yeah.
And it was like very like, there's a lot of people.
Yes.
One
Was it the
time,
cookout?
yeah, one time
yeah.
like it wasn't enough food, and
That
I was
was
like,
not, yeah.
what happened? So do you guys like go through that often? Like if you like think about like, say we're expecting like 30 people, and then like, I don't know, like 50 or 60 people show up. Like, what do you guys do in that process?
In that process, if we'll be honest, we were expecting about 100 people, so double that came. And in that, most of the time we try to get drinks and snacks and etc., but it never really fills, the same way the food would actually do. And so in moments like those, we just kind of sadly have to accept defeat because we didn't realize our own like impact and our own, I guess, advertising, how will our advertising work, that people from all over were coming, different campuses were coming, just to have a piece of, our event, to spend the time there, all that good stuff. And so moments like those, it's hard to know what to do because we can't get food immediately. It's a whole process to order the food. So we just try to sanction off the food as well as we can, Even sometimes we might have to get stingy, and sorry about that. But in moments like those, that's the best we can do at the moment if we want to be as fair as possible to everybody attending.
But the games are pretty good though.
Yeah,
they're really good.
we try our best.
Of
we try our best.
course, it's very
e-board is
great.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Our e-board is phenomenal about things like that. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on this interview. Thank you guys for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.